One of the most impactful things a piece of media can do is move someone emotionally to the point of tears. In the show Bluey, it's no stranger to this concept. Bluey has a long history of making people cry almost every single episode with its powerful themes and its phenomenal music tracks. Whether it's a single line,
"Hello, Bluey,"
or an entire episode's plot,
"Remember, I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me."
the show never fails to find a way to get their fans emotional and teary-eyed.
Yeah, mate.
The reason why I started the series is my history of working with kids in a therapeutic setting, and that has inspired me to start the series around this show. But before we get into the cheese and crackers of the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much helps me out to get these videos out to more fans like you, and let's discuss why Bluey is making everyone cry.
I'm his daughter. He should take care of himself for me because I still need him.
There's something going on with me. I'm not good at doing what I'm told. I can't sit still, and I can't remember anything. Why can't she just have the things she wants?
Because it's not meant to be.
Are you nervous about starting high school?
So look after Mia when she goes to big school, even though she isn't scared. Why did Jean-Luc have to go? He was my friend.
Well, look, sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go. But the bit where they were here was happy, wasn't it? Maybe that makes it all worth it. Remember, I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me.
On my previous video discussing the rapidly growing popularity of the series, we talked about the show's ability to resonate and relate to multiple different crowds of people. As well as its powerful themes accompanying the show, these and many more are important key pieces to the show's success in getting their audience emotional. The show's general spirit is one of positivity and follows a upbeat nature throughout the majority of its episodes.
I'm fine, just ignore this.
So it can seem a bit surprising to see that fans are making hundreds of posts regarding the show's ability to bring tears to their eyes. One of the best qualities of the show is being able to sucker punch you with emotions at the very end of an episode with just one single scene. Even scenes that don't necessarily have an inherently sad motif on the surface are able to stir up a multitude of feelings.
And I hope we're friends forever and ever and ever.
With just the music or idea alone, or even if you look at the episode's meaning on a deeper level.
Will he be okay?
Yeah, I think he'll do just fine.
How do you know?
Because he's got a good mum.
The show often follows relatable and realistic events as well as trials and tribulations most people grow up going through, granting the show's ability to connect with your deeper, long-forgotten memories and feelings. The easiest example of this is something that we've all experienced to an extent during our early childhood as well as throughout our entire life, which is the entire plot of the episode Bike. This episode follows Bluey learning how to ride a bike and being unable to balance on said bike.
So close.
Following this, she states,
It's not fair. Why can't I just do it straight away?
That's not how the world works, kid.
throughout the entire episode, we actually see multiple different characters going through the same thing Bluey is going through, with different situations. Like Muffin not being able to get the backpack on her back, Bingo unable to drink from the water fountain due to her size,
I can't do it.
as well as Bentley not being able to play on the jungle gyms, unlike her peers.
Why can't I do it straight away?
During this, Bandit is asking Bluey to observe and at the same time the audience to see how all of her peers will deal with their problems.
Let's just see what happens next.
Many experiencing the same sadness from their mistakes, just like Bluey did earlier, and we can slowly see how each one is adapting to overcome their problems and eventually succeeding. Throughout the entire episode is a technique that they use in almost every single episode, which is to allow the music to start swelling. The musical composer Joff does an excellent job making each song composed fit the episode, but what's most important for these moments, and the topic of the video, Joff has perfected the art of drawing out the emotion of the audience when these scenes happen.
She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
Go, Bentley, you can do
bike is a classic tale of how you can't expect to succeed at everything at first and to keep trying until you reach your success. And fittingly, the episode ends with Bluey gaining the confidence to continue her endeavor to finally ride her bike. However, we never see her succeed, which is beautiful in its own way since it's open-ended.
Nice work, Bluey.
Now, this is not a tale that's particularly unique, but an audience member who is experiencing their own trials and tribulations of failure can easily connect to this episode on a personal level and be moved from this. Albeit, this is not an example that you see a ton of people cry over, but now that we understand the basics of what they do to make their audience moved, we can transition onto a topic that is a lot more sensitive. In the episode Granddad, we can see the mother, Chili, having to deal with her insecurities about her father growing old. Right off the bat, this is something that alludes to the winter of her father's life, and we can all understand the importance of this topic. Once again, just like all episodes, this follows a upbeat and overall fun nature. In this case, it's Granddad running from her daughter to essentially play an elaborate game of chase
She can't find what she can't see.
with his granddaughters Bluey and Bingo, where Chili is the chaser. For the granddad and daughter, it's a game, but for Chili, it's a lot more serious.
You're not meant to be running around!
Right at the beginning of the episode, Chili expresses the importance of taking care of your body to Bluey.
I want you to grow up big and strong.
It's established that Granddad just had a surgery and is partaking in serious physical activities such as pulling up a stump and large amounts of cardio activity by playing chase. It's not until 5 minutes in that the chase comes to its close, where the gang is hiding in a shack from Chili, and the show has to say,
He has to accept that he's getting older and needs to look after himself.
Well, if he was here, he'd just say, shouldn't it be up to me?
No, it shouldn't. I'm his daughter. He should take care of himself for me because I still need him.
It's clear on the screen that Granddad is moved during this scene, but for the kids, he chooses to entertain them a little bit further by running again, but leading them to the spot where Granddad and Chili used to go often during Chili's childhood.
Yeah, she'll be here soon, I reckon. This was her favourite place when she was young.
Which leads to one of the best scenes in the entire show, with the music swelling technique once again.
I remember when you used to take me swimming here.
Yeah, me too.
That was a long time ago.
It was yesterday.
Another amazing technique we see in this particular scene is their transition technique in play to show the embodiment of their daughter and father relationship. This transition technique is something they actually use in a decent amount of episodes, and it's more often used to demonstrate the characters growing older with an important piece of the puzzles from the episode, like camping and graduation scene with Bingo. A lot of these emotional moments, as stated before, are of real-life situations that the audience can easily resonate with, allowing the studio to pull at your heartstrings like a harp. As we go over more examples, I need to mention that the scenes are as impactful as they are due to the entire episode's plot/theme. So looking at them separately and segmented does not do them justice. If you'd like to truly experience the full range of emotions, you're going to need to watch the episodes in full, such as Fairy Garden, which covers the transitioning period from middle school to high school.
Are you nervous about starting high school?
A little.
And having to leave the friends you've made behind as you progress through life. Similar to this, the episode Camping deals with Bluey meeting a new friend, Jean-Luc,
Bonjour.
that isn't able to speak any English,
Tu veux jouer avec moi?
but despite that, they connect and become close friends, playing in creative ways every day despite their language barrier. Eventually, Jean-Luc's family's vacation ends, and without a way to tell Bluey that he's leaving to go back to Canada, Bluey unknowingly hugs her new friend for the last time, excited to play with him tomorrow all over again.
Au revoir, Bluey.
This episode uses a time skip scene where we can see the tree that they planted together grow, signifying their friendship. And as the family visits the campground one more time, with everyone much older, we get to see this very special scene.
Yours, Muffin. I'm just borrowing it.
Hello, Bluey.
Moreover, sometimes the show will choose to represent a certain crowd of people, like people with either autism or ADHD from Jack's perspective, or people who are deaf by introducing Dougie, and even people who have experienced infertility issues, such as Brandy, which can make people with these conditions, or who are close to someone with these conditions, feel seen and connect to the characters on screen, and be more easily moved if they feel represented in that situation. There's even an episode where Bandit is having problems identifying if Fido is truly his friend or not. Considering Fido early on is just another dad in the bunch, barely even an acquaintance.
It's my friend, and you're friends with her dad.
Well, I wouldn't say we're friends yet.
Why? Don't you like him?
This episode explores the theme of how, as we get older, it can make someone disconnected from creating meaningful friendships with strangers due to the increasingly busyness of adult life, which from a child's perspective can seem pretty silly.
You sure take a long time to make friends.
Due to their children's efforts to rekindle the two fathers' inner child, we actually see that the two fathers overcome this feeling and become close friends. There are tons of emotional scenes in this show, so I can't possibly go over every single one in this one video, but maybe we can revisit this topic and go more in depth on other scenes, considering they're all equally special in their own way. But it wouldn't be a video about emotional mastery of Bluey if we don't talk about arguably the most emotional and unique episode in the series, Sleepy Time. Sleepy Time is an extremely unique episode, where the studio chooses to let the characters talk the least and allows the actions and music to do the most in a phenomenal way. Out of all the episodes in the show, just hearing the music alone can be enough to make certain fans cry due to how powerful the delivery of the music in relation to the scenes are in this episode. Most scenes in this episode is conveyed with music alone, allowing the music composer Joff to play heavily into his strengths with multiple different instruments and sounds. This episode even sports the longest runtime out of any episode in Season 2. It's clear that the studio wanted to include a lot more because of this anomaly, but with the short 7 minutes and 30 seconds that we get, it's executed beautifully. This episode explores the powerful bond with parent and child, in which Chili's wish is to always be there for her children, promising this even long after she's gone.
I want to do a big girl sleep tonight and wake up in my own bed.
The star we focus on is Bingo, the littlest of age 4, and early on, Chili has this to say to her.
You do your best, honey. But remember, I'm always here if you need me.
This episode is played through almost its entirety as a dream sequence in space, which is based off a storybook Chili was telling Bingo just moments before, where the actions shown on screen are actually reflected in real life. Bingo starts by hatching out of Earth, symbolizing her as the second child born of Chili. And throughout, Bingo is seen exploring space, while in reality, she's sleepwalking around the house. Each planet we see in Sleepy Time symbolizes members of the Healer family, as well as parts of the house. Venus is seen hatched already, which symbolizes Bluey as the first child. Jupiter, the second largest celestial body in our solar system, symbolizes Bandit. And finally, the sun, the centerpiece of it all, symbolizing Chili. Just there alone is something worth analyzing. Bandit and Chili representing the largest celestial bodies in our solar system shows that the audience how important Bingo's parents are to her, and Chili literally being the center of it all for Bingo. Bingo goes through space until she ends up in Pluto, being the farthest she's ever been from her sun. Quickly, the sun's light and warmth is the center of attention for Bingo, and she has to travel all the way back from where she started and further. Along the way, ending up at Saturn and having to part ways with Floppy, which results in her crying, alerting her mother in real life. Quickly, a comet picks up Bingo, sending her flying directly towards Mercury, the closest planet to the sun, where one of the most heartwarming scenes in the show, and well, it can speak for itself. As the music swells, the episode replays what Chili said before wishing Bingo goodnight, and Bingo repeats the last line that she said to her mother.
I have to go. big girl now.
Remember, I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me, because I love you.
As a final scene, Bingo is reunited with Floppy, as well as some of Floppy's new friends, as the music does a final crescendo, showing the rest of the Healer family, and if it wasn't enough, the sun starts rising in the horizon once again, symbolizing everything that has transpired thus far, allowing the music to continue swelling as the curtains close for this perfect orchestra. Bluey in its entirety is a show centered around relatable and real-life reflections of life, whether it's representing the natural progression we all go through with age or zeroing in on a certain crowd of people. The show delivers impactful emotional scenes left and right with natural pacing in its line delivery, as well as beautiful mixes of sounds and music to help elevate the audience to multitudes of feelings, easily pulling at your heartstrings and achieving misty eyes across the globe. All of this and much, much more is how Bluey is making everyone
I
cry.
promise I'll always love you.
Once again, I encourage you guys to actually watch the episodes themselves. Me explaining them and watching them segmentedly does not do them justice, but please join me next time as we discuss the top 10 emotional Bluey episodes. So you make sure you don't miss that next video of mine. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, this video wouldn't be possible without the members who support me to become full-time. And those members are Clairvoyance, Rick Iglesias, and Cameron. These members support me as little as $5 a month, and they allow me to make videos for you guys. The more members we have, the closer I get to pumping out these videos almost daily. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him up with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. More in a cave with a torch on a wall than a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.